The second-in-command, Rigathi Gachagua, is now in dilemma after his narrative of shareholding took a twist in President Ruto's latest appointment of cabinet secretaries. The storm started hitting Gachagua when Azimio la Umoja leader Raila Odinga was suggested by President Ruto to fly the Kenyan flag in the African Union chairmanship. Gachagua was left in shock with this appointment. Gachagua was then again distant after President Ruto agreed to speak in one voice with Azimio leader, where he invited them for a dialogue that was brought about by a proposal subjected in the bipartisan talks. This was not the first time Gachagua was left out, for it was evident from the start due to Gachagua being left out in state events. This was also evident after UDA members started rubbishing Gachagua for calling for unity in the Mount Kenya region. Gachagua has now been forced to take a bow to President Ruto's demand, with the latest being the appointment of ODM members to the cabinet, a list that was submitted by Azimio leader Raila Odinga. Among those proposed by Ruto is former Mombasa Governor Ali Hassan Joho, who has been proposed to be the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Mining and Blue Economy. This appointment has been met with a lot of reactions, with the coastal region showing support to Ruto. This coming days after Gachagua criticized Nurdin Haji for sleeping in his work by allowing the protest to escalate in Kenya, something that angered the coastal region residents. Another one is former Kakamega Governor Wycliffe Oparanya, who is expected to hold the office of the CS Ministry of Cooperative and SMEs. John Mbadi, MP Suba South, has been proposed to hold the Ministry of National Treasury and Economic Planning. James Opio Wandai is also a beneficiary of Ruto's new list, who is expected to hold the office of the CS Energy and Petroleum, just to mention but a few. This now seems to be a scare for Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, who was against the coalition between President Ruto and Raila Odinga. Rigathi has now been left on split roads, with President Ruto being now seen to twist his attention to the opposition side to help him govern the country, it being the first time the opposition would be part of the government policy making. Embakasi Member of Parliament Babu Owino was the first to resist the move of unity between the government and the opposition, where he stated that he will not go to bed with the government, and also called for his ODM counterparts to keep off the coalition, stating that he is now the chief opposition leader. President Ruto is now seen to have betrayed Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, something that also happened to him during Uhuru era, where he was sidelined on the governance of the country. Is Ruto now taking the same route to do away with his deputy, who has again and again highlighted that he is behind his boss? Apart from the differences between President Ruto and his deputy, the Gen Z revolution has also played a part in dissolving the government, with the latest demonstrations pressuring the president to take some delicate actions so as to adhere to the recommendations made by the protesters. However, the Generation Z has also put a statement out stating that they will continue with their protest if the government does not bring to book police officers who have repeatedly used force, causing the death of over 60 comrades. Kenyans now continue to play a waiting game to see how events will unfold, particularly after the tabling of the report of new cabinet secretaries in Parliament. Members of Parliament now remain to be the deciders. However, they have stated that it will not be business as usual while vetting the CSs. This is after what they faced after Parliament was invaded by Gen Z for passing the finance bill without putting into considerations the voices of Kenyans.